good evening.
We're live from the headquarters of EriDan International.
Is that where you're coming from?
I'm in the West Coast office.
Are you in the Era bunker?
Yes, you're in the East Coast office. And we are going to be talking about some movies tonight.
Yes, we are. It is the EriDan Film Festival, as you know, on a Sunday, which throws everybody off. And we appreciate your flexibility. But this might be, maybe you're not available on Mondays. And you just happen to be rolling through the Facebooks and you see us and you're like, hey, I want to talk to those guys. You can do that. EriDanLive.com.
And if you are looking for something to do on Monday night, my family's on vacation for the whole week for spring break. I'm home with the dogs. I'm going to go live every night. I don't know what time
Dan is streaming all week long.
Yes.
So if you're thinking I got the April blues, Dan will lift your spirits.
We're going old school.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Should
like
be
the lockdown days.
There'll be prizes.
Maybe.
Who knows? But tonight, no prizes. Episode 96 of the EriDan Film Festival. We're gonna talk movies. And you're gonna join us as we talk about some Dustin Hoffman movies. One of which I had never seen before.
I'd never even heard of it. I hate to say.
No, me neither, to be honest. And I kind of wish we'll talk about that later. We're going to be talking about Little Big Man and Rain Man. And let's bring in another man. Yo,
I used to being first.
It's Dave Man.
No, you are first.
And you're only.
Sunday nights are not convenient for most of our viewing audience, apparently. What we're
barely an inconvenience.
Our typical regulars have all announced that they will be late. They will be here, but they will be late. So how are you, Dave?
I have no social life, so I'm here.
Oh, yeah, me neither.
I think they're all watching the movie still.
They were long.
The double features, over 2 hour or nearly 2 hour double features. They were both just over, right?
Yes, they were about like 2:13 a piece.
Yeah.
And I did watch them both back to back.
Ooh.
I almost did.
Yeah.
I did a little break.
This is Dan's mother's choices.
Yeah.
And she wrote a nice long thing for me to read. Because I guess she didn't want to type it in the comments. So she texted me her statement.
Her statement, her manifesto.
It's a statement. I will be reading a statement. We will not be taking questions afterwards.
and what's funny is I'm my dogs are going crazy. I'm looking outside. There's nothing going on outside. So I don't have to leave. I was like, oh my God, do I have to go somewhere? Is there something going on? Nothing.
Apparently no.
We'll just let them bark.
Well, we could talk about let's before we get into the show, because we are waiting for some other people to join us. And of course, if you're in the comments, let us know.
We learned dog is very tasty.
Oh, we did learn that. We learned a lot of things.
And we learned people learn to speak English.
I was going to jump over to the Grammys really quick.
Oh, the Grammys.
Yeah, because the Grammys are on tonight. And of course, if you're interested in that, you're probably not watching this.
Yeah, award shows never have anything exciting happen. So
last week we're like, they're boring. Who cares?
Award show. And so I had posted earlier about the Grammys, and most of my audience, at least my social media people, I think it's hilarious. Most of the people don't even know the artists that were even nominated. We're even up for most of the big awards.
We're all old. Well, not all of us. A lot of us are old. And the old art, you're not getting a whole lot of Tony Bennett's getting nominated these days.
Well, he is nominated.
Yeah, I know.
You're not getting a whole lot of those. You don't get a lot of those. That is true. Or Earth, Wind, and Fire, or Joe Cocker, or whoever you people are listening to.
And they throw in there,
So, but I did find that. Okay. So we all know what happened last week at the Oscars, obviously.
What happened?
And I'm sure this never gets old, but there are thousands of memes available on the internet. Here's a nice ultra slap if you're interested in that.
Wow. And they even did the arm behind the back like a Family Guy.
Oh yeah, isn't that nice? It's all in the little preference. It's all in the little.
Wow, that's some good special effects right there.
That Ollie training really came in handy.
There was one, I just don't know if I can find it.
Well, we can discuss this for a few minutes since we're three white guys. Although
EriDan so white is trending.
Yeah, Eric and I could both actually have alopecia, not and we could say that's the reason. But first off, I don't think Chris Rock wrote that joke, and I don't, like I said online.
What I did read, it wasn't done in practice, a rehearsal. So it's what he probably ad-libbed.
He or somebody else came up with, right?
But there's 12 writers backstage that are handing him things.
Yeah,
as people come out, they come up with different things, and they wouldn't have rehearsed that joke because they didn't know she was going to be sitting right there and that she'd have a shaved head.
You're possibly right, but I'd be willing to bet he ad-libbed that.
That's possible. Because of his massive love of G.I. Jane. Here's one of my favorites. If you haven't seen this one yet, if you're a fan of video games, you'll enjoy that one. I don't know why I enjoy that so much. That's fantastic.
Nobody's collecting them, though.
Oh, I know, right? It's a missed opportunity. Well, they were so shocked.
Hello, mother.
I don't know. Maybe this might change the game for comics. You might have to watch what you say.
I like Michael Shea's comment on SNL when he said, why does everyone assume that Chris Rock would know about her alopecia? I mean,
that's called narcissism. Does he know about her narcissism? And I also think it's funny that Will Smith was laughing at the joke until he looked over and was like, "Oh crap!" And then he had to go.
They joked about that on SNL too. They joked about. I don't remember exactly what it was the context. They joked about him being in favor of something until Jada gave him that look.
Oh yes,
the stink eye.
By the way, it was above average SNL this week. I was pleasantly surprised.
I fell asleep at the first after the first.
I only watch the news. I hate to say it, but I don't watch.
You didn't see the short-ass movie short?
Huh?
There was Pete Davidson did an entire short film about give me a short-ass movie, a really short movie.
Oh gosh, no!
Anything over an hour and 40 minutes, just.
Well, then this week would very much disappoint him. All right, well, let's jump in, shall we? Do we want to do this? I think because I don't know how late our late people are coming to the show. It could be
just one last final thing.
Oh, please, of course.
Okay, so this is actually the tweet I sent afterwards that Will Smith thought the joke was funny until he didn't, and I responded actually to Rosie O'Donnell's tweet with this, and I should find that one because holy crap, it had so much traffic that not only did it have traffic, it was quoted in one of the magazines.
Wow.
Like one of the online magazines are talking about all the people. Okay, it should be here. Hold on. Rosie O'Donnell, Richard Marks. Boy, these are quality people I'm commenting after.
EriDan.
Here it is.
Wow.
You ready for these stats? Look at this. It's not bad.
Yeah.
I didn't know she knew how to do that many impressions.
Who, me or her?
Either one.
No, these are her people. These are all the people.
Impression.
The good thing is, I see. Oh, those impressions.
There we go.
Wow.
After
Airhead.
We have to explain it to the comedian. Come on.
Airhead. But 28,000. Oh, more impressions. 45 people actually went to my profile. No new followers. That's what really upsets me the most.
That is incredibly.
But when you look, get that off my face.
To be honest, I mean, there's a lot to criticize Will Smith for in this whole thing, of course, but I don't really fault him for the laughing, and then because he probably hadn't fully processed the joke yet.
Right. It was just he was smiling through the whole thing, and then when the joke was finished,
he processed it far faster than he did. Is the way I take that.
Yeah.
Well,
speaking of quick processing, I don't know what that means.
One ring to rule the moon. One ring to fight.
It's Brittany.
Brittany is here.
I made it.
Oh my gosh! And we've got the porta crib.
Yeah.
In the room.
Yes. Well, she's not in it. Richard's out with her in the other room.
She's not in it. Richard is. I thought you were what you were going to say.
Oh yeah.
Maybe Richard's in it.
Richard's in it.
Aw, that'd be adorable.
He slept like a baby.
Great when she can
pants.
join us with some garb that somebody sent us. I have my suspicions.
That was incredibly fast.
I have my
Yeah,
suspicions.
we're happy to announce the introduction of EriDan Baby, the new
Yes.
EriDan Baby line of
I love
merch.
it. I cannot wait to match with her. It'll be a pinch big for a little while. She's still in 0 to 3. So
I did well, and I recognize that, but I thought I'd probably get the longest use out of a slightly.
oh yeah, that was awesome.
But yeah,
I was
we
like,
did
I
also-
didn't order anymore. I was like, I know I need to order my Power Ranger stuff, but I didn't do that yet, so I don't know what this is.
We see you, Cody. Don't worry.
Yeah, we did release an entire line of EriDan Baby stuff. If you need a bib, you can get that. Now it's all of
But
it.
can we get an adult onesie?
Yeah, bibs aren't just for babies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd
I
like a
do
bib
want
and
an
a
adult, like
onesie.
those big, like adult, like pajama sleeper things.
No, yeah, that would
The
actually
footy
be
pajamas.
Like
Speaking of adult
Ralphie in A
onesie.
Christmas Story.
Speaking of an adult onesie,
Oh, I like.
Cody.
My God.
Who is here?
What up?
How are you, sir?
Peachy, how are you?
Is that an EriDan quarter zipper shirt?
No. It's
Look at that.
my Edinburgh University Health and Phys Ed shirt.
Oh.
That's also available in pink. So Dan, you could get this next time you throw up. If you could get one of those.
Yes.
Or next time
Your
you-
prediction, by the way. We never did our predictions.
We did not look through.
That
through
was
our
your
predictions
prediction
from last year, but no, I was incredibly wrong and disappointingly wrong. But hey, what you gonna do?
We don't do a ton of pink, but
We're supposed to stop saying peachy. Who was
why
saying
I
peachy?
love
I
that
have
word.
to. I have to stop saying peachy. Gosh
Why
darn it!
not? Everything's peachy.
And an 80-year-old woman told me that used to be like the term that they'd use to explain that they were on their period back in like the 50s or something. I don't remember.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
Mom.
I said that at a stop for work, and she's like, "Oh, back in the day, that meant you were on your period."
Well,
My
that
mom said
that brings us Cody's wonderful old person impersonation brings us directly to our first movie, which will be Little Big Man. So let's do this. 1970 PG-13. Dustin Hoffman, Faye Dunaway, and a bunch of other people you've never heard of. In this budget of $15 million movie, worldwide gross $31 million. Rotten Tomatoes love for the critics, giving this 96%, and the audience at 87%. 1970.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm out for this one. I didn't watch this one, unfortunately.
I
I
did
did not. I did not have enough time. I got Rain Man in. That was it.
I
Yep.
totally understand. Well, and Brittany, you said you did?
No, I didn't. I wasn't gonna be able to watch any of it. This week has been
Been crazy. I understand.
It's been
That's
absolutely
totally fine. They
insane.
were
Richard
long
and I
weekends.
moved his mom by ourselves, like just the two of us. Like we couldn't find anybody to help, so just the two of us moved
You
her.
picked her up and you
Yep,
no.
Yeah, we picked her up.
We had to
moved
carry
her.
her 7 miles. It was terrible.
Yeah, stuck her in a U-Haul. all of her stuff, put her in the back.
I can't wait
Well,
until
Let's
Apple.
talk about what you missed.
Did a full-on Beverly Hillbillies. I just loaded up the
Yeah.
truck and moved to Beverly.
Listen to the
There you
story
go.
about a man.
Yeah, tell me what we missed in this movie.
All right, let's tell you what you missed. So, Dan, you were unaware of this. I was unaware of this movie.
I'd
Dave,
seen it before.
Dave, you've
This
seen
is my
this
second
movie
time
before.
seeing it. My first time was a long time ago, so I remembered it moderately well. I remembered the basic plot and flow of it. I'd forgotten how much humor there was in it. That's the main thing that I took away from it on the second viewing.
One of the
Yeah.
reviews I read of it, made reference to it being a genre shifting movie. And it really does, because it goes to sort of absurdly ridiculous to really totally almost too serious.
Yeah, I mean, to wholesale slaughter of people, to slapstick humor, to
and at some points things where I'm like, now did they mean that to be funny, or is this just ridiculous in terms 52 years later after the movie was made? Right? I mean, we're talking, the humor in 1970 doesn't necessarily land the same.
although they did get the cooperation of multiple Indian tribes and if you saw in the credits too, in the making of this, this was not one of those cultural appropriation type movies. They had a lot of input and feedback and cooperation from the tribes on this.
And there were some factual inaccuracies, but
Mhm.
the overall truth is we were not, and this probably goes back to the whole thing that people complain about, critical race theory, or depending on however you determine that, because everybody has a different definition apparently. but that the history of our country, is kind of sugar coated for us in school. And you don't think about the fact that we slaughtered an entire nation of people to take our country.
Let alone
kind of did
a comedy movie about it.
And let's make a comedy.
And part of the problem is that, I mean, if I'm not going to defend the education system, it has its pluses, it has its minuses. I think my big problem with that is that a large to great percentage of the population relies on school for their education. And so much of your education should occur outside of school.
It's true. People should really be looking to Facebook.
People
Because
should.
honestly,
The internet.
YouTube,
Netflix, that's
there's so much out there. I'm sure Instagram will teach you more than your English professor ever did.
So you guys are saying that this was like comical. Is that what I'm gathering? from
well,
this?
Some people might say
parts of it were comical.
there were some funny scenes.
So I absolutely detest Tom Cruise, and the movie that I watched of the two was Rain Man, because when I looked both of them up, this one said Western drama and the other one said the dramedy, so it's supposed to have this comedic portion of it. So I was like, well, I'm in the mood for a laugh. I'm going to pick this one.
Rain Man had more laughs, I think.
Really?
I would probably say about the same level.
It was very dry humor, and it's inserted just funny lines, like when his grandfather goes to die, and he's like, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yes.
It was like, okay.
And the scenes with Faye Dunaway.
yes.
It's not the humor. It's not the humor you're used to
There was
nowadays.
definitely humor. Whether you would have found it funny or not is sort of up to individual taste.
There's a whole scene where he's adopted as a teenage boy. He's adopted after having been raised by Indians by a pastor and his wife. And the pastor is exceptionally strict, and the wife is a little on the frisky side, shall we say, and is intrigued by this man boy that she is now fostering. And she gives him a bath in a rather interesting scene.
Yeah.
But it's quite funny.
And then she takes him to the local malt shop, so to speak, and the guy behind the counter disappears, and it turns out he's downstairs fornicating with the woman. Well, isn't that special?
Oh.
Well, who made you do that? Oh, I don't know.
So there's some definite humor in some parts of it, but other parts are very serious. And actually, my name in this General Custer is a very interesting pivotal role, because it's an extremely serious position in the film, because he's responsible for a lot of cruel death. But it's played by Richard Mulligan in an almost unrecognizable role, except for certain times when he smiles or certain times when his mannerisms shine through a little bit. But most of the time he loses himself in the role. And it is just an incredibly hedonistic, vain, narcissist Custer who just, well, you can't question a Custer decision.
Yeah, I wonder how the Custer family feels about the portrayal of, it's one of those things where now
if you read the history,
the movie is narrated. Let's talk a little bit about this narration, because if you don't buy the narration, then you don't buy the movie, right? And the narration is done, I believe that is Dustin Hoffman.
That is Dustin Hoffman.
Wearing an amazing amount of makeup, doing a really interesting old person voice. Let's put it that way.
Well, okay. He was supposed to be 122 years old.
Right.
And he was like screaming. He for an hour in his dressing room, he would scream at the top of his lungs to make his voice raspy, because he's a method actor, as we know. Why don't you try acting, Dusty? Act on this, you old British. What?
That's practically what we did to the Indian. But of course, I wouldn't expect an old Indian fighter like you to agree with me.
This might get us kicked off if I play this too much longer.
Yeah. That was actually the thing I remembered best about this was there was a lot of coverage of that makeup, of how long that took him to do, how incredibly impressive it was, because that was very groundbreaking makeup. It was around the same era as Planet of the Apes. They were starting to get into that whole latex prosthetic type of makeup for certain roles.
The makeup artist was pissed because they did all these. He did this amazing thing where he could blink, and that was like new.
Oh,
because it used to be like you would blink and you'd see your regular eyelids, but he actually had his eyelids were made up too. So if he blinked, those were old, but they didn't use any of the footage.
It had a Dukes of Hazzard feel to me, where like Waylon Jenner's like, well, them new boys got into some trouble. And he kept coming in, and it's like, because for me it was kind of like, all right, is this just the setup, and then he'll go away, and then he never goes away.
Well, he would go because the movie was very episodic. It was you show the beginning. Well, I'm not counting the prelude where they talk to the old man, but when it actually starts in the flashbacks. You have his family getting wiped out by the Pawnee, and then you have him. Then that changes to him being raised by the Cheyenne, and then they go to him being with the pastor. And each one of these, when they would transition, is usually when there would be a brief narration.
And that was the end of my religious period.
Yes. Right.
That was the end of my snake oil salesman period.
That's when I learned about
Yeah.
Now, your mother says she can't hear, and I'm
she got it back.
assuming she means the broadcast and not just not hearing.
What?
No, she said the iPad gave up. Her phone won't go to Facebook, so she's trying to reboot the iPad, and now she's got it back.
Okay, so she's good now.
Yeah.
Adam says that of the two movies we watched, he had a hard time watching, just outdated and didn't keep his attention.
Well, you have ADD, but no, I completely agree. At the beginning, it took me 3 times to I started it, and I just got, oh wait, I can do this instead right now. And I started, but as soon as he went to the next chapter, like once he went to the religion, and then I was like, oh, okay, we're moving forward in time. I see. Okay, this isn't just him telling a story of his childhood.
And I love Chief Dan George. I thought he was incredible in this.
Yeah, and he was one of the freaky facts, which we won't do any. I guess I'll just spit him out. But he was not the first actor. Like they wanted Marlon Brando to play that part.
Yeah.
And Sir Laurence Olivier, speaking of Dustin Hoffman and Sir Laurence Olivier, Eric knows what I'm talking about, and Richard Boone. But they actually got a guy that was actually a Native American, and I believe he won the Oscar.
He was nominated. I don't think
he was nominated. He's like the only or the first Native American nominated for an Oscar.
No. And he got slapped. No, I'm kidding. There's no slapping of the chief at the Oscars.
I remember him best probably from Outlaw Josie Wales. That's the other movie I really strongly remember him from.
Which I've never seen that.
Have you seen many Clint Eastwood movies?
Probably none.
Wow.
I think I saw, which was the one with the bridge? I'm sorry.
That was Dirty Harry. Dirty Harry had a
Dirty Harry. No, didn't he do a
you're thinking of? Yes,
Madison County.
Madison County. That's it.
Yeah, not exactly an action
that either. I didn't see
the prototypical Clint Eastwood movie.
But there is a tie-in to this movie in the Star Trek world.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh, no.
Old Lodgeskin's line "Today is a good day to die" was adopted by the Star Trek universe as a Klingon catchphrase.
Oh.
So there you go. And Dustin Hoffman had quit smoking cigarettes for 8 months, but during this film, it was so rough he started smoking again.
Jeez.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Yes.
There's probably more makeup than he had for Tootsie, that's for sure.
Yes.
Maybe he should have had more makeup for Tootsie. Just say it. Maybe we would have watched that movie instead. No.
But yeah, I think that both these movies are on the same 1001 movies you need to see before you die. So it's got that going for you. What's crazy though is these two movies are 18 years apart.
Correct.
And it's think of what Dustin Hoffman did from 1970 to 1988. And think of what Tom Cruise did from 1970 to 1988. Not that that's a thing, but you know what I'm saying.
Is that a thing?
I don't know. We can go around and rate it if we want, since we do.
You want to rate this one? And I believe Adam is joining us late.
No, he joined in.
Getting some scores later. Maybe.
Well, no, he made a comment already.
He's here.
He made a comment. I just don't know.
He said he might comment. He might not put the scores in.
I don't know if he's. But let's do some rating anyways. This will be interesting.
Wow.
Brittany, you get to go first. Oh, you didn't see it.
Didn't see it.
I didn't pick it. Who
he didn't get to see it. My mom picked it, so I'll go first.
Either. The ratings of this are going to be very interesting because
wait, who picked this?
My mom did. My mom did the double feature, so I will go first in honor of my mom, and she can also send me her score. or she can put it in the comments.
Oh, now did you need to read her statement?
Yes. So here's what my mom said about this. She's got a statement about both. I know I didn't read it yet because you couldn't hear. I'm reading it now, Mom. She's texting me. Both of these movies have a message to them. See, I didn't read the whole thing because it also goes into the next movie. Both of them are very topical this time. Little Big Man discussed the evils done by the white men against the Indians, especially the human beings. Here on Bainbridge Island, we are living on Indian land, and really, every one of you is living on Indian land. Really, we all are. But we have very more recent, because we have casinos. We live in Indian land that was taken from them. His sister was perhaps, she said trans, but I don't know if it was trans or maybe a lesbian. I don't know if that was covered. They covered some serious subjects, but also very funny subjects as well. So there was also the one Indian that might have been gay.
Yeah, what was the I remember what the phrase they used for him was. It was but he was respected in the tribe, as they put it.
Yeah, he was like the clinger of the tribe. Maybe he was trying to get out of service, or maybe he was hold on. There's a word here.
Yeah.
I had it. I lost it.
Begin with an H.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know where it is.
Yeah, okay.
I'll read the rest of her stuff that's about Dustin Hoffman when we do the next
okay. Part 2 of the statement coming up.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. I was just wasn't sure if what she had to say would influence anybody's score.
Well, this is odd though. She said they didn't watch this week. Little Big Man wouldn't play on Prime. I found Little Big Man on Prime, but I wasn't able to watch Rain Man on Prime.
I watched Rain Man on Prime. I watched Little Big Man on Prime. Rain Man was on Prime, but not free. You had to pay for it.
Yeah, it was on HBO.
And Stacey, you can still join even though you didn't watch.
Well, maybe they'll jump in to
jump in. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think either of them. Anyway, so I had never seen this movie, and I did no research before watching it. And I agree with Adam at the beginning. It does kind of go, oh my, because I'm not into Westerns. I'm not a huge fan of Westerns. That's why Back to the Future 3 is my least favorite. But as I started watching it, I started really liking it. And I found the subtle humor. It's not slapstick. It's very. You think it's slapstick?
There's a little slapstick.
Will Smith was in this?
Exactly. It's not slap rock.
When he's becomes a drunk and he's stumbling through the mud, and there's a few scenes.
All right, there's a little bit of
definitely humor. When he's trying to lean back on the chair to match the other guy. There's definitely some slapstick in this.
Not much, but there is some.
Okay, so there's a little bit. Yeah, that's true. When he was trying to put his feet up beside Wild Bill, and he's like, can't get his feet on the table. But I think it is, I score movies not just on, whether I like them or not. It's also based on how is the movie. And is it, well directed, well acted, well shot? This hits all those. So I'm going to give it a solid 86. And I will go to Dave while I wait for my mom's score to come in.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, this was not my first time seeing it, but it's probably my first time in at least 30 years. So it certainly has been a while. And I mostly remembered it. I didn't remember how much humor there was, which I enjoyed. I enjoyed the humor breaking up the very serious scenes because it could get a little heavy otherwise. It was not trying to be a treatise on how cruel we were to the Native Americans. It was just trying to be a movie telling a story of which that was one piece of the story. And I thought I thought Hoffman was excellent. Man, was young at the beginning of this. That was so I enjoyed Chief Dan George a lot, and I thought Richard Mulligan as Custer was excellent, playing a very somewhat effete, incredibly vain character who just never, once he made a decision, it was final, no matter how much logic was going to fly in the face of it. And it was interesting. One thing that was mentioned earlier about what the Custer family would think of this, Eric, you said, interestingly, one of the reasons there's a lot less known about the Battle of Little Bighorn is because for several decades after he died, his widow was like her crusade to rehabilitate his image. and she published like crazy. She lobbied heavily for his, which is how sort of Custer's the hero model, which used to be, brave white man wiped out by Indians.
Right.
When I was a little kid was sort of the story, even in the 60s, when obviously that's not the real story. So because of that, by the time real historians started to research it, a lot of the people involved had passed away, and there wasn't a lot about it. So it was interesting to see that side of it too. I enjoyed it more than I remembered. It was I don't know if I enjoyed it more than Rain Man. They're very different, but I didn't think it was dated at all. The only thing that I felt dated was there were a few small scenes that felt dated. The scene with his sister, where, to be honest, the way they played it and the way they wrote it, it was, and this is incredibly dated, they made it sound like she was wishing she could be raped. And that was a very awkwardly written scene in hindsight. But other than that, and one or two other small things, I still thought it held up very well 50 plus years later. So it's a 90 for me.
Wow.
But would she?
Nice.
I agree with that. I thought of that same scene, and it's like, does she wish she was raped, or does she just want to get laid?
Well, that's
she's just kind of like, hey, anybody interested in me? Like, you don't even have to do anything. Like, I'll do it all.
The voiceover even said as much as she never had luck with men or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. All right, let's bring some people in before we continue with this discussion here. We've got some people.
Madam Librarian.
Stacy. Whoa, then there's Dave. We'll go back. There we go. Stacy is here. And of course, I played Stacy's because I wanted to debut this.
Wow. Let's do that again.
Wow.
It's kind of like the
That's
first one. Really.
amazing.
Oh,
my
that's a
gosh.
good one.
That was nice.
That was amazing.
So my mom loved it and gives it a 97.
Whoa.
Is that her highest rated movie?
Amazing.
She loves Dustin Hoffman. As
Is
we're
that her
talking
highest
about.
rated now?
Is that her highest rated movie?
Yeah. No, I think she gave 100 or something.
Nope, she's never given up.
Really?
You've got a lot of scores here. I don't see anything quite that high.
Ooh.
Oh, Rain Man. We haven't scored Rain Man yet.
Well,
That's
it's true. There is
I know.
Sort of his wedding video.
it's complicated. She gave a 98.
Oh, okay.
Oh, she also gave a 98 to Forrest Gump.
And my comedy special, an 86. I mean, come on.
Well, black and white, come on.
Yeah. But Eric, it's your turn.
Well,
Bringing the score down.
I hated this movie so much. Not since Take the Money and Run.
Wow.
My mom also loved.
I've
What did my
been
mom can take the money and
turned
run?
off by a movie, and I just and I couldn't get past it. I couldn't. Every time he spoke as the old man, it bothered me. There was just so much the wild transitions from madcap weird comedy to devastation was too much for me, and I just couldn't get into it. I tried.
You like the cleaner narratives of Sergeant Pepper.
I do enjoy George Burns' narration, but at least he's not doing a voice. I don't know. It's nothing clicked. I could not get into it. I was so prepared for this, because I had my opinions going into Rain Man, but this I had nothing to go off of, and I just went in pure. And gosh, within the first 15 minutes, I was like, "Oh no, oh no!"
It takes time, though.
Better. So for me. And obviously, I know I'm wild man out here, the critics, and I read so many Rotten Tomato reviews to see if maybe I could read something that would make me see something that I didn't see. It never happened. And so for me, I'm sticking with my score that I gave Take the Money and Run. It's going to be a 35 for me.
Oh my god! Oh my god, Eric!
Yeah.
Wow.
I just couldn't. I couldn't get behind it. I tried.
You're the East German judge.
Oh my god! Not even East German, Nazi. Holy crap! Eric.
Oh, gee. Wow.
Well then,
We're still getting more scores in. Adam is yet to give a score.
Oh,
yet.
like that's gonna help.
It's pretty rough.
Let's just stop it there. Let's not even put Adam's score in at this point.
Adam will raise it. It'll be above Eric's, I predict. It'll be higher than 35.
No, I don't think it
It's
will be.
very possible.
I don't know.
But the problem is we only had 4 of us watch it, so Eric's score really has a huge effect.
I do. That's the interesting thing is that with less people watching, that's
I
how
watched
UHF
Rain
ended
Man.
up like where it is.
I watched Rain.
Yeah, I got Rain Man in.
All right,
Like
but let's do this. Let's do Rain Man and see how we do that way, right? Let's see if maybe things get a little better with Rain Man. All right, Rain Man, 1988, a journey through understanding and fellowship. Dustin Hoffman, Tom Cruise, Barry Levinson, written and directed. $25 million budget, worldwide gross of $354 million, and an extra point in there for some reason. I have no idea why. Rotten Tomatoes ratings 89 and 90%. Your mom loves the critic darlings and the well-reviewed movies on.
These are great movies.
Yeah, and Adam's score was a 67.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That's pretty strong for Adam.
That is pretty strong for Adam.
Dustin Hoffman doesn't make a lot of real turkeys.
No. Meet the Fockers?
It was still a fun movie.
No, that was good. I thought it was a great. He and Barbara Streisand were a great couple. All right.
All right.
So we're gonna go around and talk about this movie.
We probably should talk about Rain Man in some way.
Oh, I'll just say really quickly. Obviously I've seen it a few times, and it's been quite a few years. I don't know how I just blanked on the fact that he was like a car import broker guy.
I was gonna say, Dan.
The movie opens with I felt like Wade for a second. Like, oh my God, there's a Lamborghini flying. This is awesome.
This movie is all about cars. Not your movie.
So did it get 5 extra points for that?
Oh, got many extra points for that. But yeah, I forgot that part. I thought at the beginning it looked like Tom Cruise was blonde, and then all of a sudden he wasn't. Did anybody else notice that? Like when he's on the phone in the thing, his hair is very light. Maybe it's the way the light was hitting it.
I didn't realize that.
And all of a
You
sudden
might have
he
to
wasn't.
adjust the screen color on your phone.
Maybe.
Or maybe
I could pull it up and see real quick.
not on your phone.
I could pull it up and see. But yeah, I like this movie a lot. It does get touching at times. Oh, you're gonna pull it up. Okay. It's gotta be the very first time you see him. See, I guess it's the light.
It's lighting.
Yeah.
But that's not the first time you see him. Because even at that point, I was like, his hair looks darker. Like I thought in the same scene it looked darker.
They're
Oh my
outside
God.
of first.
Oh,
There it is.
like yeah, look at that.
Now that's what I'd make a time machine out of.
Yeah, the problem is that those are less dependable than DeLoreans.
Yeah, probably.
Those
And
cars are
apparently the EPA paperwork is real hell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But I mean, yeah, that's and he was very good at lying. By the way, Hans Zimmer, this is his first movie that he scored.
Yes.
Wow.
And he was specifically asked not
And
to
Stu
use
Linder,
it
man.
at 11 because he thought it would make it too sentimental. So
Yeah.
there are no strings in the entire score.
But it gets emotional at times just because being a parent now, like I didn't see it when I was a parent, and having friends that have some kids with some issues, it's kind of like you go, I can't imagine, if a kid was shipped away and the other kid didn't even know he had a brother.
Bullhorn roller.
And like the
scene where Charlie realized that he was Rain Man
yeah.
was a very touching scene.
It was touching. I was mad I didn't freaking see that. My brain didn't process that, and then I was like, I'm so dumb.
No, I think that's excellent. That's well written in such a way and well acted in such a way that you don't make that connection.
But
Right,
I
'cause
feel like if I would have thought about it hard enough, I would have been like, Rain Man, Raymond. I would like that's so.
It seems obvious, but it's yeah.
Right. But they call him Ray a lot too. So you kind of,
That's true.
They did try to disguise it a little bit. It wasn't, it wasn't as big of a shocker as Bruce Willis being dead the whole movie. I mean, it was,
What?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you've ruined Die Hard for me.
Man.
But yeah, I mean, and the Vegas stuff and the card counting and the number genius stuff.
This movie is like made for you, Dan.
There are tons of things in this movie I absolutely love. And
he loves counting cards.
He's not into a six deck shoe though. Come on.
Yeah, 6x shoe. That's hard. And also the fact that basically what they were saying was the casino was rigged, because when he said at the one point, hit me, he knew he was supposed to get a 3 and he got a queen. And then when he went to the wheel and he said it'll be a 20 and it wasn't, basically that was a statement of the fact that casinos are rigged. There is always a little bit of rigging going on. And if you just look at the numbers of what should happen, it doesn't always happen.
Though, the wheel was just pure luck. I mean, there's no memory or savantism involved unless you're perfectly at guessing where a wheel is going to stop.
Right.
So that was just him, the same way that he thought everything cost $100, and just not really getting it.
But I like how he just gives him the cards. This guy's been a dealer in like 5 or 6 different movies, by the way.
That's funny.
But this was actually one of the statements, though, that somebody said that they also cheated him when they do the total amount of money. It's off by $100 of what he won, just to show that the casino cheated him. I also thought for sure that the hooker was going to go back and like she worked for the hotel, and because he's like,
I thought so too. He's like counting cards. Yeah.
And also the fact they didn't beat him up. They just said, listen, you can go home.
Yeah, that was weird.
Never come to any of the casinos again. Consider this, your lucky day.
There were a couple of things in this movie. But
no, it was Dustin Hoffman, so
it's not illegal. And the good thing about this movie too, it's probably the first movie, or maybe it's the only movie that Tom Cruise did not have to like wear heels or have other actors stand in.
There you go. Yeah, he's taller.
He was the tallest person in the cast of the main 3 characters.
I really don't like him in a lot of movies, but I didn't mind him in this movie, which
that's how I feel about it too. I am very far from a Tom Cruise fan, but he holds.
I don't like him. I don't like him when he's the good guy, and I really felt like he was like the bad guy in this.
He was at
first.
I was
like, I mean, I don't know.
He was a redeemable bad guy.
I don't know that like, even when he started to find out, and kind of started to seem like he was having some compassion and stuff for his brother, and things were a little bit changing there, and and then he just took him right to the casino, and he used him I was like, oh, he started to be, nope, there's this redemption. No, just kidding. I don't know. I just don't like him
because I don't like Tom Cruise mostly the person. And I feel, and so the funny thing is, when I started the movie, I'm like, oh, here's Tom Cruise, jerk, and it works in this movie though, right? Because he is a jerk, and then he does get some redemption towards the very end, the scene where he teaches him how to dance, right? Like I feel like there's a connection there, and there's definitely, you can tell that as he's starting to learn to work with him, he is doing things out of his way to make his brother more comfortable.
Just making sure he has his juice box and making sure, just little things. Yeah.
How do y'all feel about the kiss scene?
Wet.
When she kissed him?
Yeah.
In the elevator?
I didn't like that.
That was a little weird.
I didn't like that at all. I was like, talk about messing with somebody's emotions. Like, that's never going to lead to anything at all.
Yeah. And when he found out, he said, well, what happened in the elevator now?
Yeah.
I didn't realize, halfway through the movie, if you guys haven't seen the morning show on Apple TV with Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon, this actress plays a character in the most recent season. And I'm listening to her voice when she sounds so much like her. And I was like, oh, wait, that is 30 years ago. And it is her.
Dang.
So that was kind of cool. See, it was the same actress. So my mom's comments about this movie and Dustin Hoffman in general, The Rain Man is covering the subject of autism, a very moving story about a young man who never knew that he had a brother. And his imaginary friend, okay, she's telling me where you know this, called Rain Man finds out true story.
Summary.
She did give a good summary. Here you have a man who's on the spectrum, is a very high functioning person who can read books, remember everything he read, but doesn't even remember that he read the book. You get to see Charlie become a better person and do what's right for his brother. She's been a huge Dustin Hoffman fan since The Graduate, which she saw 5 times. He's an actor who gets totally involved in his character, like when he's playing Ratso Rizzer in Midnight Cowboy, which was rated X because of the word shit.
There's more in there than that, but anyway.
Initially, yeah, it was stupidly rated X. But he is, Marathon Man. That's the joke in that Theater Stories sketch from SNL that Eric and I love, where he's like, at this point in the script, my character has been running, and so I stayed up all night. And he's like, "Why don't you try acting?" And it's like, yeah, he's a big method actor. He really gets into his character. So good for him. And I also, Tom Cruise wise, I've watched all 6 Mission Impossibles in the past week and a half. So I've had enough of Tom Cruise for this.
Yeah.
You may not want to see
He's
Dr.
no Jack
Strange
Reacher.
when it comes out.
Yeah. So if the one brother was sent away and the dad had a falling out with the other brother, then why leave the money to anyone? Well, he sent the brother away, but he still cared. But he still visited the brother.
To pay for his care. He's not, unless he was a ward of the state, which certainly wasn't said to be. In fact, no. He was
voluntarily. Yeah,
voluntary commit. So yeah, he still had to cover his expenses.
Well, the other thing I read was that he was probably getting Medicare or Medicaid to pay for all of his treatment from the hospital that he was in, but just his living. I mean, who's gonna buy the books and the baseball cards and all that stuff? So he left him the money, and $3 million in 1988. That's a lot of money.
I don't know if I missed it because there was a couple of times I was changing dirty diapers and stuff. The one thing I wondered was if the dad made such a big deal about Charlie taking the car because Ray cared so much about the miles of the car. Was that ever said?
No.
Okay, I was trying to figure out if there was a way to like redeem the dad in that of like why he wouldn't let him touch the car, because he's like it only has 28 miles on it since the last time I took it. Like he was super fixated on that, so I wondered if that was why the dad didn't want him to take the car.
I didn't get the impression that the dad was that fixated on the car. I got the impression from Charlie's perspective he was. But
no, if Ray was fixated on the car,
are you going to let your 16-year-old kid take your classic car out for a joyride?
No, but you'll let Ray drive it in the driveway.
In the driveway, with the passenger seat, sure.
Well, and at that point, clearly he had recognized how that car had negatively affected his relationship with his younger son, right? And so maybe as the father got older, he realized that the car wasn't as important, right?
I just was wondering if, because Ray would have been older, so Ray would have already technically been legally allowed to drive if he had been driving it then.
Yeah. When do they say? I forget when.
I think he came to visit him. He drove it in the driveway of the home.
Yeah.
But it's weird that the leather seats had changed from brown to red. It's like, well, car. Why did you have to change? Yeah, there's so few miles. I mean,
cracked, been aged.
Either way, I also love the fact that the two things he hated about his dad were the fact that he loved his roses and he loved his car more. He loved his kid, and then he leaves him the car and the roses. And he has that line where he says, "Yeah, I got the roses. Definitely, I got the roses." And it's like a precursor to the way Rain Man speaks with it. Yeah, definitely.
Well, yeah, and it's you also too because you get from Charlie's perspective that he had a cold, uncaring dad who never expressed affection for him, and that's very possibly true. But then you also find out that probably the main reason that Raymond was sent away was because he was perceived as a possible danger to his younger brother. So, his dad clearly cared for him. He was just someone who could never express it.
Well, but then it creates resentment. You're the reason my other kid got sent away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That's one of those no-win situations.
Yeah.
I'm just still mad about the ending. So,
what about it?
I didn't like that he left on the train and then it just ended. I thought that was dumb.
You thought it was dumb that he went back to the hospital? You think that Tom Cruise would have been able to?
Not exactly, but I feel like I almost felt like Tom Cruise's character, Charlie, whatever, would have, like, for a second he was fighting for it. He was fighting for it. Like, do you want to stay here? Sure, he realizes that he can't decide when he says yes to both. But like, I'm sure there's help where he's at that they could have done, or they could have figured something out, especially with the money and the situation. I don't know. I just felt like it was I don't know.
It was realistic.
Yeah, it was realistic because my mom's uncle was in a facility because he couldn't function on his own, had brain damage from birth, and he knew that as his home. So you couldn't really. We could take him out to visit and stay overnight at my grandparents and all that stuff, but he ultimately wanted to go home.
Yep.
So there's
Got
that.
it.
And he
Maybe
really
it's just
wanted
not
he
the
wanted
happy ending I
he wanted Charlie to be with him at the home. I mean, he like
Yeah,
why
that's
couldn't
fair.
Charlie move to Cincinnati?
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
Right. Well,
WKRP
that's
was
yeah.
pretty
So then
hiring.
Charlie moves to
They
Cincinnati.
don't have
His house.
Lamborghinis in Cincinnati.
Maybe
But they have them in Boardman.
just because the movie ended there doesn't mean their lives ended there. I mean, maybe he will, but you don't have
Yeah,
to.
that's true. And he said he was
Rain
gonna
Man
go.
2.
He said he was gonna go visit him. So
Right.
Well, my mom says Charlie realized Raymond needed to live there.
Yes.
And so Charlie had to let him go. Now, you know, yeah, are there better facilities in Los Angeles? Probably. I mean, it's more of an international city.
They actually have a discussion in there saying that this was the number one place in the country for this kind of treatment.
Right, because you know Hollywood's there.
Cat was a mess.
There's a lot
Eric,
of crazy
it looks like
people.
The cat's on your microphone. I'm sorry.
Crazy
The cat.
is not
Yeah,
the same.
Eric, you have a cat on your microphone.
We thought it was a mouse.
I do have a cat. I do have a little visitor there.
It looks like this
That is
tiny
really
little
good
cat. On your microphone.
perspective.
Yeah, it's like
Worst perspective.
tripping me out.
I'm brushing your head.
Like I could have like a little.
Yeah.
They're good to
Like,
the
Oh, now he
Oh,
catch him, he ran away. That's funny.
That's
But yes,
terrible.
Charlie did become a better person through this. But also, Charlie grew up without a family. Now he has family.
Right.
he grew up
he's
very
in the Fast and
slowly.
Furious movies
He
now.
was such a jerk.
He was a man child. He was someone who never
Just a
matured.
jerk.
Spoiled.
Yeah.
And
Just
by the
was
way, the
awful.
Ray-Bans he wore in this movie sold out just as fast as the Wayfarers he wore in Risky Business. I don't know if he got paid for that, but that was one of the weird facts I had
Yeah.
found.
And there was a fact too that in Top Gun, that Ray-Ban, the aviator glasses became real big and famous from him wearing them then too.
He's a big.
Who had the poll on how long it would take for Wade to bring up Top Gun?
That's the only good Tom Cruise movie. What are you talking about?
No, it's not.
Well, we're gonna throw some numbers at this thing.
Okay.
Are we ready? I think we should. I think it's kind of what we do.
Yeah. We don't play the music for the second one.
No, typically no.
All right. Well, since it's my mom's movie again, she can put her score. Oh, here we go. She went one up. She one-upped it.
Whoa, nice.
And I'm going to say, you know what? This is pretty close to a really perfect movie. There's not a lot of horrible. You can't find a ton wrong with this. I mean, yeah, Qantas Airlines. By the way, when they wrote that line, they didn't realize that was true, because they'd had propeller crashes, but no jets had ever crashed. And to this day, Qantas Airlines is still the only major airline that's never had a jet go down. So that was kind of cool. And apparently the writer of the movie, when he was buying a ticket with Qantas, they upgraded him to first class. Like, thank you very much, sir. But yeah, it's got cars, it's got Vegas, it's got. There's a lot of love in this movie. If it had time travel, holy crap, it'd be 110. 110. But only because I don't love Dustin Hoffman as much as my mom does, because that would be weird. I'm going 97. I'm going to go one below my mom.
Wow.
Yeah. So we'll go to Dave.
No, it's an excellent movie. Excellent movie.
Definitely. Kmart sucks.
Yep. Levinson never crashed. It's solid from beginning to end. The performances are very good. I am not a Tom Cruise fan, but I have no complaints with him in this film. I think he does a very good job. And I think it was, I haven't looked up, I read somewhere not that long ago, I think it was Scorsese maybe. A very big director said that Tom Cruise's role in this movie is one of his all-time favorite performances in any movie, because Hoffman had the easy role, in the sense that you were going to sympathize with him. You were going to like him. And Cruise had to somehow figure out a way to connect with the audience and connect with Raymond in a way that was not forced. And obviously some of that's on the writing and the director too, but he did a very solid job. I really, there aren't too many movies that I can point out and say I liked. Not just I liked the movie, but I liked Tom Cruise in the movie, and this one is the case.
It was Michael Caine that said that.
Oh, it's Michael Caine. That's who it was. Thank you.
Yeah.
With a southern accent.
Yeah.
Michael Caine. So really not much to complain about. I liked it. I liked it. Unlike your mom, I liked it a little bit better than Little Big Man.
Wow.
So I'm giving it a 91.
All right. And also, by the way, Dustin Hoffman and Tom Cruise doubted the movie's potential while they were filming it, and they were calling it between each other two schmucks in a car. What a different movie that would have been. It was called Two Schmucks in a Car. Okay, who's on first? I should have put you on first. I'm sorry. You're actually what's on second.
I missed the opportunity.
I changed it afterwards. Sorry. I don't like Tom Cruise. I don't. That made it
forget it's Tom Cruise. What do you think of the movie?
I know, but that made it so hard to watch. I thought Dustin Hoffman did a fantastic job. Whether or not I like him as an actor, I think taking on that role and having to play an autistic, person and do it respectfully and well. I think he did that. We have a nephew that has Asperger's, and a lot of those tendencies, I was like, yep, like I see, changing the subject and repeating and all of those things. And so I really thought he did that well. And I did sympathize with him, obviously. I absolutely hated the way that Tom Cruise treated him, which I think was the point, but that made me so mad. I just can't. I was just the whole time. I just was raging. Like I don't think that he was redeemed in the end in my eyes, because I just was so mad at the way he treated him. Like, I don't care if you're a man child. Like, you don't treat people like that ever, period. I don't care. Oh. So I do think it was
character, not the. I mean, that's who the role is supposed to be.
I know, but I feel like who Tom Cruise is as a person too. I feel like it was easy for him. He didn't have to try. I don't know. I'm sorry. Anyways, me and Tom Cruise. I didn't hate it. I'll give it a 79.
Wow.
Oh,
that's good, because I have a 79 Pontiac.
Tom Cruise had not been in it, what would you have given it?
I don't know.
Well, Dustin Hoffman was actually considered for that role at one point, and Bill Murray was considered for the brother.
Oh my!
I couldn't have done that. No, that would have
taken. And they also had Dennis and Randy Quaid, the real brothers.
Gosh, yeah,
that would have been funny.
Because you could kind of see Randy Quaid being the crazy one, but it would have been funny if they would have flip-flopped it.
You said that twice now, Dan. He's not crazy.
Well, I know crazy, but Randy Quaid is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is.
He didn't slap anybody. Come on.
I know. Keep it in the family. Cody Crow. 22.
I really thought I wasn't gonna like this movie, not as much because of Tom Cruise, but just because I'm like, oh, this is another old movie. I almost had the same feeling I did. Oh, what was the one
88 is an old movie.
It's old to me. Like, think
All
about when I
movies
started
are
actually like watching good movies. It was probably like late 90s, early 2000s, where I could like process movies. But I had a very similar feeling as I did with the airport one. Oh, Terminal. That's the one.
Terminal.
But like, I just felt like I was taken a step back by how good the acting was. For one, I didn't expect, like, Tom Cruise. I hate him. I do. I dislike him with a passion. I didn't expect his acting to be as good. Hoffman's acting was great with autism, and taking that role on. I see better now with the ending. Now that you guys are saying everything, I don't know. I wish we would have seen something. I hate movies where I don't get the fulfillment of seeing how like things are actually going or ending or whatever.
You wanted to see the Green Ranger. No, I'm kidding. Go.
Exactly. But no, I did like this movie. I don't think I'd watch it if it was on TV. I don't think I'd sit down and go out of my way to watch it, but I did enjoy it. I'd give it an 85.
All right. Riders, Judge Wapner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. Doug Llewellyn.
Oh my gosh, Doug.
I know. I miss Doug Llewellyn.
Wow.
So cool to see those old clips.
So I'm basing my rating on the last time I saw it. So it's because we didn't watch this one either this weekend, but I have seen it. And it's a great movie. I think that, Dustin Hoffman just really did a great job. And while I don't like Tom Cruise, I don't hate him with a passion or anything. I just find him the same in almost everything he does.
Yeah.
So, and I don't like the girlfriend or whatever she is. I don't like her. I never did.
Valerina Golino.
I like
Susanna.
I didn't like her in this. I don't think I've seen her in anything else. I don't know, but I didn't like her in that. I'm going to give it an 89.
Wade.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen it too, but I kind of remember all the stuff you're talking about. I remember most, or pretty much all of it. And I did like the Dustin Hoffman's acting for what you're used to seeing him.
Yeah.
Now Tom Cruise, yeah, I kind of got the same vibe that was kind of how he really is, but it was really done well, and I didn't like the ending either. But I'll give it a 90.
Yeah, I agree that there are not many Tom Cruise movies that he's not playing Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Right.
So, is anybody else scored other than Eric? We don't have an Adam score yet, do we?
Yeah, I haven't got an Adam score yet, but I was going to bring up what Adam brings up, which is this movie did a great thing, which is it did bring autism to the spotlight, but it did bring about this negative stereotype of what all autism is. And having dealt with quite a few people personally in life who have been diagnosed with this, it's an interesting movie. I think it is. I agree with what everybody says. It's a great movie for a lot of great reasons. I liked it more than twice as much than I did Little Big Man. But I don't love it. Like, it's not like, to me, this isn't a Forrest Gump. This isn't this isn't the movie that you're going to go to as like, oh my goodness, this movie is timeless. And it's like, no, it does bring about support, because I mean, you bring up autism and people do that impersonation. Well, okay, mean, stupid people do that impersonation, but still, it's a thing. And it's not fair for the people who are, who don't have that kind of behaviors as part of that diagnosis.
Right.
And so, it's an enjoyable movie. I went into this movie preparing really not to enjoy myself. And halfway through, and I'm like, okay, my loathing of Tom Cruise sort of worked so well in that role, because he wasn't good, and I did kind of feel towards the end, it's like, okay, he kind of got me. He got me where I believed that, he does care, and he's not just a jerk. And so I ended up at an 80.
It's one of his best movies, Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
I will say that.
I will agree.
Because he did a ton of action. This is one of the few non-action that he's okay.
That's
what was the other one?
That's true. And then Adam comes in with a 74.
Now, my mom brought up a good point too that I was going to mention, but the credits show all the pictures. Remember when he was taking pictures in the car? At the credits, they're showing those on the side.
Mm-hmm.
So if you didn't stick around for the credits, you missed that.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom just texted me something that I was going to say too. Autism has changed. Not that it's changed; it's just the diagnosis has changed, because the spectrum that it's grown. When I first heard of autism, there was a movie on TV called Sunrise, and I bawled my eyes out at the end of it. And that was an autistic boy who didn't talk, and that was what autism was considered back then. It was nonverbal. They didn't talk, they didn't make eye contact. Yeah. And the end of that movie, the kid is slightly cured, and there's another kid, and he says something like, "I used to be like him," and I mean, it was like an ABC movie of the week. And I don't know, 8 years old. I'm bawling my eyes out. Like, why am I bawling my eyes out at this movie? And if I watched it, I probably would too.
Yeah.
But yeah, to Eric's point, I mean, he was more of a savant, which wasn't really, I guess that's on the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
But a savant is different than,
It's a small minority.
Yeah.
It's funny that Eric brought up Forrest Gump as being this classic movie, but wasn't Forrest Gump autistic as well?
They never actually gave that. I don't think Forrest Gump ever gave an official diagnosis movie, and I think that's with this movie, for the longest time, they didn't initially, and then they did kind of get very specific in diagnosing it as autism, which, as I said, I think kind of,
Well, also in this movie, he had a obviously wealthy father who had probably got him all of the best care and doctors and everything and got a real diagnosis. Whereas Forrest Gump was, you know, a poor child, single mother.
Yeah. But that said, you know, if all things calculated, Rain Man coming in at 87.
Despite Eric.
Despite, wow.
He gave it an 80. He wasn't that far.
He gave it an 80, yeah.
Thanks to Eric. Little Big Man starts off
early.
75 isn't horrible, considering
it's not horrible at all. Absolutely.
I mean, look at the movies below it; they're very good movies.
There are, look, Power Rangers right there. I mean, come on.
I was just going down 2. I wasn't going down 3.
All right. So, by the way, real quick, I brought up the I googled it. My mom said that movie was on Spotlight, and I said it was on ABC. It was actually on NBC, and it was called Sunrise: A Miracle of Love. It was a televised docudrama from 1979.
That's going to be Dan's next movie pick.
Yes, starring no, it's not. James Ferrantino and Catherine Harold. James Ferrantino, I've seen him in other stuff, but I didn't realize that's who this was. And they twin boys playing the child because that's what they have to do. But yeah, James Ferrantino. What do I know him from? Hold on a second. What is he famous
stuff?
For? Yeah, a lot of cop stuff.
Yeah,
stuff.
I think he's from LA, Hill Street Blues, isn't he?
1979.
Dynasty. Yeah, I guess he hasn't done a lot of stuff since 2000. Maybe he died. That's why
I think he did.
Yeah, he died in 2012. He was in 100 TV and film roles. Among them, Final Countdown, Jesus of Nazareth, and Dynasty. Those are the 3 he's most known for.
Wow.
The double feature there, boy.
Yeah,
there it is. All right.
So
move on. Are we moving on to next week?
There we go.
There we go. So goodbye to Dustin Hoffman, or maybe not.
Or maybe not.
All right, here we are once again. As you know, we want everybody's suggestions for the wheel. We will go over what the current crew has on the wheel since it's been a couple of weeks, in case people want to change their mind. Adam has Spider-Man No Way Home, which I do want to make sure is available somewhere if that were to get chosen.
It is now, I think. I think it is now.
Okay.
I don't know if it's rent, but I know it's buy.
Brittany has Timeline. Dan has Timeline.
Oh, great movie.
Dave has Roxanne. I have Jumanji. Richard has Timeline. If Richard is still...
He's switching his to A Knight's Tale.
Ooh.
Oh, come on. We waited Timeline.
He's got like 2 slots on the wheel.
No, he's got 4 now.
Is Timeline the Paul Walker one?
Yeah.
No. Oh, yeah, that's right. He is in that. I was sorry.
Yeah.
I was thinking.
I was thinking Nancy Walker.
What's his face?
I need a second to update my records.
You need the quicker picker upper. Is that what you're saying?
Town in here. Let me see. Hold on. Let me get all this. I'm going to come up with a better system for this, but I have not yet. So hold on 1 second. One moment, please, while I copy and
Maybe we shouldn't be allowed to change our movies. Maybe you pick it, you're locked in.
Maybe we should do a Will Smith movie this coming.
Stacy, we since you had a movie that was chosen when we watched Wonder Woman, we need a movie for you.
Let's go with music and lyrics.
Ooh, Hugh Grant.
Good one. To me, that's sort of the same way. I don't usually like Tom Cruise, but I liked him in Rain Man. I don't usually like Drew Barrymore, but I liked her in music and lyrics.
See, I like her in More and More Things. I think she's a little.
I never saw that one. How is More and More Things? Who's in that? Nothing. All right.
All right. So Dan's mom has Don't Look Up. Wade has Jungle Cruise. Cody has Fury. Rebecca, who we've not heard from. I don't know if Rebecca's watching. So Rebecca, let us know. And Harper,
the whale person,
who we think we might be for the love of whales. If you're out there, she had.
I think she's driving cross country with her sister at the moment, so I don't know if she's coming on.
Probably not, but I'm leaving her on the wheel. And if somebody comes up who's not here, we will spin again.
I would hope not.
I will, and just because I've really enjoyed these 2 movies, I'm going to change my movie.
Change to Meet the Fockers.
So it's another Dustin Hoffman movie, Stranger Than Fiction.
Oh, wow.
At least it wasn't Midnight Cowboy.
He's not the star of Stranger Than Fiction, but he is in it.
Didn't we watch that?
No.
Oh,
I think it was on the wheel at one point.
okay.
Yes, it was.
Okay, there's
Then I
something
got
familiar
removed from the
about it.
wheel. All right, anybody else changing their movie before I load up the wheel? Oh my goodness.
Let's see
This
it.
is out
Man,
of
what are you
control. This is complete.
Adam wants to know what his is again.
Spider-Man, No Way Home.
Oh, Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah, it was Spider-Man No Way Home. Yes.
Yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home.
Spider-Man, No Way Home.
I think
Jeez.
it's Spider-Man No Way Home, but
Wait a minute, let me check.
all right.
Spider-Man?
No Way
No
Home.
way.
No
Oh,
way. Oh my goodness gracious.
If you put up the wheel, we can.
I've
confirm
gotta
it's
come up with a
Spider-Man, No Way
better-
Home.
Come up with a better.
be able to read anything on this wheel.
This was a great. This
Oh
was
my
like
God.
a good idea when I started.
The hypnotic thing.
But let's find out what's going on. Let's spin this thing.
Shuffle it.
I gotta shuffle it. You're right. Sorry. There's the shuffle, and here's the spin. And still no sound effects. We're gonna figure that out later. There it is. Whoa, I'm getting vertigo.
Richard said Spider Home. No way, man.
I put $3,000.
Oh my goodness. There
Wow.
it is.
Oh,
They
this
put
Will
$3,000 on 20.
Yes.
There you go. Well, apparently that was the right choice. So there it is. Stranger Than
In
Fiction.
a very, very atypical Will Ferrell role.
yes.
I know.
And Emma
you.
Thompson.
Yes,
I love
Emma
her.
Thompson, who's wonderful. Queen Latifah.
Oh, that should be good.
Maggie
We've
Gyllenhaal.
seen it.
Maggie Gyllenhaal's excellent in it. Yeah.
Let me see here. Bringing it up here. There it
For
is.
streaming. I did not do that.
All right. That's all right. There we go. Stranger Than Fiction. Currently, something went wrong. Well, let me see.
2006.
What? Stranger Than Fiction is not available for streaming.
Okay. I would be willing to just let you re-roll if it's not available for streaming anywhere.
Yeah, because that means it's not available for rent anywhere.
Yeah.
At the
Do
library.
you want to re-roll, or do you just? I think
That
you
is-
just choose a new movie. I mean, it's your
Oh,
spot,
you need to give me a minute, but sure.
huh?
Yeah, you need to give me a minute, but I can choose another movie.
60,
pressure.
59, 58.
Well, no, take your time, and we'll talk about what else people have been watching. I've been watching nothing of interest, so I'm not going to share anything about that.
I finally watched more What If. I watched the first 4 episodes now.
Oh,
And thoughts?
I love it. I'm excited because it's shocking to me how good they are.
See,
Mhm.
did not.
Like,
Some
they're-
of them. Some of them are not that good. It was very
okay.
I definitely like the later episodes better than
The
early.
first 4 I thought were really well
And you're
done.
going to be real happy when you get towards the end.
The humor in all of them. The one I liked the least was probably the zombie one, but I appreciated the explanation of it. Like,
Mhm.
but the humor you got from Paul Rudd in that one was like movie quality humor.
I mean, I do appreciate how that almost all of the original actors returned.
Yeah, almost.
for their roles. You know, it's unfortunate that Scarlett Johansson was busy suing Disney at the time and does not appear in the What If series.
Well, that's Disney's fault. So,
Yes, it is.
True.
I don't know. There were non-disclosures, so we assume it's Disney's fault. But
Yeah, we'll assume that. We'll assume that.
All right,
Yeah.
let me-
At least she didn't slap anybody.
Well, while you're
So
I'm going to do a quick unboxing here. So I received this. Speaking of which, look at this lovely thing.
interesting.
Wow.
This came in the mail yesterday. It's from this is a it's like every other month subscription you can get through Amazon, and they send you items. And so we'll take a look. I have not actually opened the box yet.
Oh, you and I will have to talk about this.
But we'll see what's in here.
speaking
Let
of
me see what we got here. We got a T-shirt. Let me see what the T-shirt says. It's almost always a T-shirt. Let's see, and this T-shirt says, "I'm not single. I'm saving myself for Thor."
There you go.
you're
Probably
Thor. I'm
won't be
so
wearing
Thor. It
that
hurts the
much.
piss.
I dare you to wear that.
No, I have no pride. We've got some lovely little stickers. Look at this of
Oh.
WandaVision.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was Janine Garofalo.
Me too.
Well, no, that's what's her name. That is Marcy
Oh.
and Detective Chen. I have no idea. I forget what his name is.
Yeah, I know who you're talking
Jim Halpert.
Asian Jim, yes.
Yeah.
about. Jim.
That's what we talk about him too.
Oh wait, we've got a Oh,
is it, a
we've
Funko
got a
Pop?
pin. We've got a pin. I'm gonna have to hold this up real close. There we go. It's a Trust a Bro pin. If you watch the Hawkeye series, you'll know what the Trust a Bro is about. And we got a couple of Funko Pops because I'm all about the Funko Pops. We have got a
Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch, all in red.
Whoa!
I don't like these solid colored ones. I'm like, that's such a. It's an exclusive because instead of putting all the paint in the mold, we just filled it with one color.
Exactly.
That's a rip-off. I don't love those as much. But then, this is cool. From Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we've got Zemo.
Oh,
and he's doing the dance. He's clearly in his purple thing there. So there you go.
There, we're kind of matching now.
Oh.
I got my Bucky.
Adam got some too. I know he posted on Facebook that he went
Soldier.
to the Funko Pop headquarters.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, just kids there. Yeah, just today.
That's fun.
There you
Where
go.
is that?
It's here in Seattle area somewhere.
I can't believe you've not been there. That's so sad.
I have not been there.
But yeah, so $30, I think every 2 months, something like that.
Is it all Marvel?
It's all Marvel. It is the Marvel Collectors Series. And you can find out what the theme is going to be, and you can cancel before they send it to you.
You need to send me the link for this.
But before you do, don't send an Amazon link out because I'm trying to get our Amazon affiliate, an Amazon affiliate page set up, and you have to have 3 unique sales within 6 months.
Okay.
I just got notice. I've got 2 months to go, and I have 0 because I haven't really shared it other than putting it on my site for my comedy special. So if anybody has to buy anything at Amazon anytime soon, tell me what you're going to buy. I'll send you the link, and then when you click on it, it'll register. I get like a penny, literally. They pay nothing, but I have to have 3 unique sales. And it doesn't cost you anything. It's the same price of what it costs.
Nothing.
I buy on Amazon every week.
I will send you a.
Yeah, send it to me too.
All right.
I wish I just had like a generic link. I'm trying to figure out how to do that.
So what I'll do is I'm going to send Dan the link for the Marvel Collectors Corps box, and then Dan will share the link.
There we go.
Currently not available. I don't know what that's about. That's interesting. Maybe it's not available because I'm already getting it. We'll see. Let me send Dan this link and see if you get the same thing. According to this, the next month's box is called I Am Groot from the Disney Plus series coming soon called I Am Groot.
What? Can't like screw.
Not much.
But there you go. But I forget how often it comes. It comes 4 to 5 collectibles. I have no idea how often.
All right, and watch this, everybody.
Watching, waiting.
I put it. It's in the links. It's in the comments. I'll put it in the private chat.
Whoa! Look at this.
That's the link.
That's the link.
You're going to buy something.
Currently unavailable.
Oh, it's currently
Let's
unavailable.
say currently unavailable, but hold on to that link because I think it's because they just shipped this one, right? That maybe it's just not available at the moment.
Mystery box.
All right. Anybody else have anything else you want to buy on Amazon?
You can also buy old boxes. So if you
I do actually have something.
I do. Do you need me to send you what I'm buying, or are you sending me a link to put it?
Well, I need to know what it is first.
Yeah, so send Dan all your precious.
Send me the link to whatever you're interested in buying.
And
I'll
then
get back
your
with it.
information and your
Yeah, give me your social security number, your blood type, and your date of birth.
Totally.
mother's maiden name, all that.
Mother's maiden name, shoe size. Other announcement: I will be doing a show every night this week.
Ooh.
Oh yes.
Whether
Why?
Eric,
Now, does that include Friday or is that only through Thursday?
I might do one Friday too. I only scheduled through Thursday so far in StreamYard, but just an old school go on whenever. I have no idea what time it'll be yet.
So every weekday this week.
Yeah,
Maybe
Monday,
on
Tuesday,
Monday.
Wednesday, Thursday. There will be a Clutch Radio on Saturday. Rafi will be back. And this show will be Monday next week, right, Eric? We're back to Mondays? Or do we have to do Sunday again?
I confirm or deny. I think so. Let's say that's true.
That's true.
No idea. I have no idea.
That means it's gonna be Tuesday.
It might be Tuesday. I do not know.
So you just had a comment saying of a Stranger Than Fiction possibly being free on Pluto TV.
Oh,
That's what my Google says.
If so, the search service I used did not say that, but that would be cool.
Let me see.
Pluto.tv.
I'm not sure.
Watch now.
Well, there you go.
I can
Okay,
get it
well
at the library. I know we have it. So
I can
wait.
stop searching. I had narrowed it down to 2, so I can save those for a future date.
Oh, it's running right now.
okay.
Well, there you go. Pluto TV. We'll keep it stranger than fiction then.
And my mom
I
said
got
it's
you,
available.
Dave.
My mom said it's available on Plex.
I don't know
Okay.
what that is.
What's Plex?
No. Well, Plex is a service. But I think you have to pay for that. You have to be
You
paying.
do. There's a free tier, but you have to pay, I think, for those movies.
You want the movies, yeah. But hey, if you are, then that's a great thing too. Adam says he's been watching basketball, and I have no idea what that means. But
Coach K.
For the last time, you can say Coach K is out.
I know. I watched that. So wait, is this the right movie?
Will Ferrell.
2006.
Hold on, let me share my screen. You guys can tell me real quick if we're watching the right thing. Is this it?
No.
No.
Unless it changed greatly.
Fast forward it.
No, that's not it.
That's not it.
No.
That's a progressive ad.
Now, this movie would be PG-13, not PG.
Weird.
Oh, different
That would
movie.
not- you do
Oh, so the internet lied to me.
do not watch this on Pluto TV.
For the first time in your life, oh, Zoolander. The internet has lied to you.
So disappointing.
All right, I'm down to 2.
All right.
Oh, here it is on Plex. Oh, wait, buy or rent. So
Mhm.
Plex shows it, but you have to still buy or rent it.
Oh, it's saying Apple TV though.
Right, to buy or rent.
But does that
Yeah.
mean you can rent it on Apple TV?
If you can rent it for a not unreasonable, like a 3 or
That's
4.
the same one.
Huh?
It's surfing.
Surfing?
So weird.
Yeah, look, it's a surfing movie.
That's not it.
I'm so confused.
Mm.
Me too. What is happening?
You picked the
I
one
think we're
movie
getting
that's
a different
broke on
movie.
the internet.
Well,
I'm checking out the Apple TV link
Little
here.
Big Man was broken too. So
All right, let me see here.
I just went to Amazon Prime and there it was.
By the way, Severance, you have to watch Severance if you can. Holy crap. You get 7 days for free. I mean, the last episode is Friday. So if you sign up on Thursday, you can get it all in a week. It is so good. And then you can also watch Coda.
No, it is not playing on Apple TV at the moment.
Ted Lasso, The Morning Show. So many good things on Apple.
I don't have Apple TV, but I really want to watch Coda.
7 days for free.
You don't have Apple anything.
Or buy
I
a
don't have
device.
Apple anything.
Or if you buy a
iPad.
device, you get 3
Buy an
months for free.
iPad and you'll get it for a year.
And then return it and you get it for free.
No iPads.
I want to know when that starts. So I just
I
ordered
buy
something
Apple.
from Apple, but it's not coming until July. So the question is, does my subscription start now or does it start in July?
Richard's comment. That's funny.
This whole, yeah, very true.
Wow, nice.
yeah, pretty much.
We've still not got a chance to even play Richard's intro. It's so disappointing. Even though it's not nearly as fabulous as Wayne's. I'll say.
I like that one.
Oh boy, we watched.
Oh,
American
it's so
Underdog.
good.
Watched that last
Whoa.
night. I was
That's
not
pretty
as impressed with it as I wanted to be. I thought it fell a little flat, but it was still good. I liked Zach Levi, so
That's a football movie.
yeah. But you know what?
It's
It
not
wasn't.
even about football.
It's
That's
not.
what I've heard that 5 times for every sports movie.
Hoosiers isn't about basketball, remember?
But
Hoosiers
it
really isn't
wasn't-
about basketball.
It
Not
was-
really.
it was about sport. It wasn't like I usually love those like Rudy and Facing the Giants and other things, and I just this one didn't have that.
The longest yard.
I didn't see that one. The last time I saw The
I don't
Longest
think
Yard
she'd be inspired.
was with Burt Reynolds and stuff.
Well,
back
that's
in
the real
day.
one, not the remake. No.
Yeah, I
no,
saw
not the
that.
I
when I was
oddly
like
like the
7.
old one, the original better.
The old one is very
It
fun.
was terrible. When you're 7, it's terrible.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
That's
it's
seven.
hysterical. A guard against the guards.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we watched that, and I liked getting Kurt Warner's story, but I feel like they let it fall flat in some places, and that was disappointing. So I think there was just too much to get through, and they just kind of glossed over everything. And Dennis Quaid was in it. I had to go, who is that guy? I know him. He looked so old. But
Okay, I have 2 movies.
Oh boy. Okay.
And I'm having trouble trying to decide between the 2 because they're very different. I want to pick whichever. If anyone really dislikes either of these movies, I will pick the other one. So the 2 movies are Marty and Defending Your Life.
I never heard of the second one.
No clue.
I've never heard of either of them.
Okay, then let's go with Defending Your Life.
Okay.
It's an Albert Brooks movie.
Oh yes.
Meryl Streep, Albert Brooks, Rip Torn.
Oh, Lee Grant's in it.
Hmm?
Lee Grant is Dinah Manoff's mother.
I like to choose movies people haven't all seen if I can, which isn't always possible, but
awesome.
Is it
and it is streaming on Apple TV? It's $2.99.
I don't
Oh
have
no,
that.
also, but it's also on. It's on HBO, Max Go, DirecTV, and available for rent everywhere.
At your local library.
And
Yeah.
your
Thank
local-
you. I've never heard of it. So, what's it called? Defending Your Life?
Defending Your Life. It's a
a lot
comedy
of Albert
romance.
Brooks movies,
It's a
for whatever
rom-com.
reason, other than maybe was it broadcasting, a lot of his movies really are not that well known. It's surprising to me.
So Adam's gonna love a romantic comedy. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, Rip Torn is in it.
It's only
Shirley
marginally a
MacLaine.
romantic comedy. It's
Who else is in it? Buck Henry's in it.
1991.
Buck Henry. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
I think I remember seeing this. I might have seen
I've
this in
seen
the
it a
theater.
couple times.
I think I saw this in the
I ever
theater.
have. It was made in Europe.
Oh
And
no! I
Under
didn't
2
know that.
hours. Under 2 hours. So
It is. Both of the movies I chose were under 2 hours, in deference to Pete Davidson's sketch on Saturday Night Live.
I'm gonna have to go watch that. I'm gonna pull that out of my recently deleted items and
Yes.
Yeah,
we
the
go
whole,
to the
the
library.
whole short film he does about how movies should be under an hour and 45 minutes, and he doesn't have the attention span for anything longer than that.
they are pushing them longer and longer.
They start listing movies that are short. And I got 9 movies for you, and they start going down all the Ernest movies.
There's at least 4 of those.
I'm trying. There was a movie I went to see in the theater, and I could not believe how short it was. It was like 70 some minutes. So I'm like, how? That's not a movie. Like I think the trailers before the movie were longer.
When you're under an hour and a half, I agree. It can feel a little bit like, whoa, it's over.
It feels like the finale of a TV show almost.
Yeah. All right, Cody, I sent you your link.
I got it. Thank you.
Live long and prosper.
All right.
As my grandmother would say, use it in good health.
I hope I sent you the right one. I actually didn't even look at it.
Oh.
I did. Okay.
And I know you're all concerned, but the Grammy for New Artist of the Year did go to Olivia Rodrigo. So she'll be
Well,
very
I've heard of her.
about that. She's
But
actually
did anybody get slapped yet?
well.
Adam had the best. I hope Pete Davidson slaps Kanye.
Yeah, I
The only
would think,
reason
I
I
would
think
think
I've heard of
Grammys
it-
has a bigger chance of that than the Academies did. But
Oh, I heard so much
Heard it
bad
was
stuff
terrible.
about this.
Yeah.
Adam
it
says
didn't look very.
Morbius is teetering on Fantastic Four bad.
The remake, correct? Or
Yeah, the
anything
most
after the
recent Fantastic-
original?
Yeah.
The original one movie by itself was okay.
Okay. Not great, but okay.
No, yeah.
But the remake is absolutely horrific.
Yeah.
That's really
And-
sad because I was
And I
really
didn't
excited
like
to
I
see
didn't like
it.
I didn't like Silver Surfer either.
Silver Surfer was better than the remake of Fantastic Four, but it wasn't good.
Silver Surfer has issues. Basically,
Yeah.
Silver Surfer is not bad if you're just there for Silver Surfer. It's everything having to do with the Fantastic Four is terrible.
Yes.
Right? Like,
You got Chris Evans, you got Jessica Alba,
Yeah.
you've got Ian Goldfund, you've got some good casting, but
But
Yeah.
why? Like, it's just whining about why their wedding. The whole movie is like just her whining about the fact that they're supposed to get married.
and as a wedding DJ, you hear enough whining about people's weddings.
No, my clients are awesome, but it just goes on and on. It's like the world's in trouble. Stop worrying about your wedding. Come on now. Perspective. Yeah, I've heard bad things about Morbius. We are not going to go see that in the theater. We did go see the Batman.
Yeah, you told us last week.
I did tell you that. That's right. That's been a week already. I still don't recommend it. No,
things haven't changed, huh?
Things have not changed.
Well, it took you a couple watchings of Black Widow to like it, so why aren't you going to see the Batman several times?
Well, the stakes aren't as high. No, you're probably right. If I watched the Batman more, I would become okay with it. And I'm okay with it. I said, if you love Batman, there's lots of Batman in it. So if you like Black Widow, you'll like the Black Widow movie. There's lots of Black Widow in that. Very few Black Widow appearances in Batman.
It's a very dark, long movie, is it not?
Which one? That's true.
Batman.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
Well, actually, that was a bit of, I don't want to say controversy, but a bit of news that has scared some people is that Disney just came out and announced the runtime of Doctor Strange 2 is about 20 minutes shorter than they had originally planned.
Yeah.
Adam said that.
No, they're going to cut too much of it.
Comments.
It's 22 minutes shorter than what they said.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a couple comments.
There's some very strong concern about that.
All right. I shared this on Facebook earlier today, but I'm going to share it with all of you here because I'm weird, and this is the weirdest thing I found all week, which is it's a piano instrumental album by Summer Woods called Chihuahua Hat, in which he plays 3 Weird Al piano medleys.
I saw this.
That not his cover songs. You have to be so familiar with his original songs to understand any of the songs that are in the medley. And she gives us whoa, that's much louder than anticipated. Hold on. So it's quite delightful. But I doubt, outside of hardcore Weird Al fans, anybody would be able to recognize any of the songs. Let's see, we'll start a little bit here.
Maybe after the Daniel Radcliffe movie comes out.
Yeah, that's true. There's 45 minutes of this.
Yeah, that's
so again, you've really got to know your Weird Al. So, but yeah, there is a Daniel Radcliffe movie coming out where Harry Potter plays Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, it's a biopic.
Yep.
Wow.
He's not even dead yet. It's like Elton John.
I would normally look at the two and say bad casting, but I also respect Radcliffe's acting enough to say he can probably pull it off.
Interesting.
I think you might be right about. I'm hoping that is the case, and trying not to judge the whole thing based on this photo.
Oh, that's bad. I hope that's just that was done on purpose as a bad leak.
Oh no, I think that's real. I think hold on, wait.
It's more like Howard Stern from 1982.
Yeah, that mustache is awful.
Wait, hold on. Well, they're going to CGI in the real mustache.
That is Daniel Radcliffe. Yeah,
that mustache is nasty.
You're weird, Harry. You're weird.
That's an Anchorman level mustache.
Sure.
No, that's his actual mustache.
Did anybody watch the April 1st episodes of either Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel?
I watched both.
Yeah.
What a great April
Fool's
Fool's
do that. I haven't yet.
Potentially one of the best. No, not potentially. That was one of the best things anybody's ever done on late night TV.
Wow.
The fact that ABC and NBC allowed them to switch places.
Oh my God.
So people are in the audience didn't even know. Like they're there to see the Jimmy Kimmel show in Hollywood, and Jimmy Fallon walks out.
Well, Questlove didn't find out until that day.
Yeah, they told nobody. And some guy, and Jimmy Kimmel goes, or Jimmy, one of the Jimmys said, we checked Twitter to see if anybody knew the leak, because obviously they had to be snuck into the buildings and they had to fly cross country. And one guy had posted, it'd be great for April Fool's Day if Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon switch places. Come on, NBC and ABC, make it happen. And like the guy just guessed.
Oh my gosh.
But then he said, I've got Matt Damon on, and then Justin Timberlake came out as Matt Damon.
I need to watch.
Oh, that was Matt Damon.
And they had Red Hot Chili Peppers on both shows simultaneously. And they talked to each other simultaneously. Like they did a split screen.
Yeah.
So no matter which network you're watching, you could see both.
Wow.
And they also played some practical jokes on people where the two of them were switching places and things. They did a few things like that. They also had things people say to them because they mix them up all the time.
I did see that bit. I saw somebody they had recut that bit for I don't know, one of the streaming platforms.
The funniest thing Jimmy Kimmel ever did was bring that wax statue of himself into his offices and
with his
crap out of his cousin.
With his cousin Mickey. Oh, it was hysterical.
I cry every time. I laugh so hard.
She is so gullible. He catches her how many times with that?
A lot.
I don't know. The best thing Jimmy Kimmel ever did was clearly Ben Stein's Money. But go ahead.
Yes, that was my attempt at Weird Al.
I did love Ben Stein's Money.
It's a better mustache than Daniel Radcliffe's.
Absolutely.
I actually grew my mustache and put mascara on to thicken it a little bit.
It looks like your mustache.
Yeah, that's my high school mustache, pretty much.
Yep.
And those are my dad's old glasses. I couldn't see out of them.
Uh-huh.
And that's my Howard Stern, Gene Simmons wig. Wow. So I could be any of those people.
Yep.
And you still have the wig, is the question, really.
I don't even know if I saw that one. But it almost looks a little also like a young Alan Dershowitz during the OJ trial.
Okay.
Adam says he can't watch the two Jimmys. They suck. Yeah. Honestly, this is the best either of them have been.
I only like one of the two Jimmys, but I thought it was still a funny bit.
Yeah.
They did a thing about, things people say to them mistakenly, like, "Oh, I loved you on Ben Stein's Money" to Jimmy Fallon and things like that. They were doing them back and forth, and they got to the point where they both said, "I wish Dave were still on." And they both got this wistful look on their faces. Yeah, us too. They decided to call Dave, and he got the answering machine saying, "Hi, you've reached Dave. If this is Jimmy, please don't leave a message," or something like that.
Oh, Letterman.
I sent my son a text.
Letterman was just on Ellen.
Wow.
Yeah, because she's doing her final, I think she has 6 weeks left. And so he went on as one of her final guests. And he was funny. I mean, he's obviously hilarious. But he was most of the show. He's 75 now.
He looks it.
And she's 64. I think he looks amazing. I mean, my goodness. He was talking about he's trimmed the beard way back. Good. Not way back, not like a normal person.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's no longer a Duck Dynasty happening. It's a little.
There's no manifesto involved with his beard.
No, there will be no statements.
I understand that he's not to everyone's taste, but when he is on, Letterman is still one of the funniest people on the planet.
Yeah. I always thought he was funny. I think he's another one of those idiots who is stupid, though, like a lot of men do in Hollywood and wherever else. But I still thought he was funny.
Oh yeah,
I liked watching him every night.
Well, it's like with Will Smith. I mean, you can. We're all flawed individuals, and if you're going to judge us by our worst moments, then.
And most of those are put out in public right away, as opposed to our bad moments.
Yeah. The one universal when we were reviewing Rain Man was everybody was like, "Well, I don't really like Tom Cruise," but
did anybody play any practical jokes on April Fool's Day? I really can't get to my wife's birthday, so we can't all. It's like there's no joking. Because apparently maybe her dad might have forgot her birthday once and used April Fool's as an excuse. Maybe, allegedly. But I sent my son a text in the morning with this picture. And I said, freakish snow last night, no school. And I couldn't get him out of bed. He's like, I think I saw that and I wasn't really paying attention. And I went back to sleep. I'm like, oh, crap.
Backfired.
Took me a while to find that picture. We haven't had snow like that in a while.
The library system had a really great one. We do kits for people to check out. Like we have a stargazing kit with a telescope, and we have a music kit and an owl pellet kit. And so she put together a beekeeper's kit, and with the queen and the hive boxes and stuff like this. And then the link, press on the link to get the waiver. And I was rickrolled,
nice.
Which I had never heard of in my life. And
wow.
But I'm like, oh, and it didn't click in my brain that this beekeeper's kit was not real. Like, oh, that's cool because we're always doing really new things. So what do I know?
I can hear.
We're gonna let you down. Don't worry.
There you go.
Oh no!
Richard says a video game that Cody and he plays pranked everyone by introducing a drunken screaming voice from the crowd during gameplay.
Oh, it was so bad. It was so bad.
I can hear Richard in the other room cracking up about the beekeeper stuff. We watched something.
So we're talking about practical jokes, and then Adam says this.
Wow.
I mean, you just have to figure out how she's a real delay.
He's on a delay.
He was talking about her birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I mentioned her birthday.
Yes, he's on a delay.
Well, I mean, but you can say, yeah, she's such a delight. I mean, different ways to say that.
Don't do the eye roll. You'll be fine. All right, good.
Or the creepy way. She's such a delight.
Dave.
Oh, I need to get a wipe.
It's getting worse. All right, Brittany, what were you saying, Brittany?
Oh, we watched something. He mentioned it got skipped. I was kind of glad it got skipped because it's a little embarrassing that we watched it. But whatever, we watched something, and there was
I totally missed that.
A stunt, I guess, that involved a lot of bees and the queen bee in part. Not that one, but that's okay. We did watch Blue's Clues also. He's been putting that on. He's been putting that on in the mornings for her when he gets up.
With Steve or with Joe?
Steve, like the OG Blue's Clues.
Yes.
He gets up in the morning before he goes to work, so I can sleep just a little bit longer. And he's been putting that on while he's feeding her, and she's
weird to hear
loves
OG.
it.
Weird to hear OG applied to Blue's Clues.
Yeah.
I thought maybe the bees were in Blue's Clues. No, okay.
Oh no! They were in a really dumb movie involving a lot of stupid. Oh, involving Johnny Knoxville. Let's go there.
I did miss this comment.
Yeah. There was a stunt involving a beehive and a bunch of the queen bee and a bunch of other bees, and yeah.
Wow.
No.
Amazing. All right. Well, I think it is about that time.
The time is
I have a wonderful song to share with anybody who wants to hear a Tom Cruise song after we're done. So I can't play it because we'll get booted. So if you're interested in a little song about Tom Cruise, not by Tom Cruise.
Oh, good. I was thought it was another Shatner situation.
No.
Oh God.
But feel free to hang around. Hang around when we're done, and you can enjoy that. But otherwise, we'll see you
tomorrow.
Dan.
Yeah.
Now everybody knows you'll be on all week long.
All week long.
And the link will be. You're taking visitors all night week long, right?
Yes, and the link will be different. It will be. Hold on, let me find a place to put this. Here will be the link. drlaugh.net.
Not be painful.
Not be painful. Oh, that was the joke I forgot to do that night. I was going to do that to the crowd. I was going to talk about be painful.
Painful.
I'll pull the link. I'll pull the link up during the show.
All right, so there you go.
No topic is planned.
You gotta have your notifications on for Dan, because your phone will notify you when Dan goes live.
It'll be around this
any time.
I might go on twice. I might go on in the morning. I might go. Who knows?
Great.
I'm just gonna plan all week.
Wait, so are we on Monday next week, or
Yes.
We're gonna say
okay?
Monday.
All right. Richard and I should hopefully start having a sitter on Monday nights.
Ooh,
he'll be able to come too.
That means he'll get his intro.
I know. I want to see it.
You and Mina can be on.
She's for some reason right now, the time period that we're here is her like witching hour. She just sits out there and screams.
Well, that's good, because I haven't had a chance to make her an intro yet. So all right, we will see you all next week. Have a wonderful week. Or actually, we'll see you Monday. We'll see you tomorrow night. Dan's lovely stream. That too. All right, bye.
case I don't see you. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.